Hey, good evening and welcome to our February 16th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. We'll go the Pledge of Allegiance until we get back in the room. Any announcements from anyone?
I have none.
I have none. I also have none.
I have none.
Okay. Any additions to the agenda? I think there was a discussion item that, Gary, you want to put an executive session at the end of this thing?
Yeah, we've got a couple of HR things to discuss. As I sent you last week, the information from Sharon Reed. So I'd like to discuss aspects of that. And there's one other item too I want to discuss with you. So an executive session after this regular meeting adjourns shouldn't take too long.
Okay. Anybody object to that?
No problem.
So we'll add it to we can actually adjourn this meeting, right? And then have the so 17 will now become an executive session. Okay. Let's go into I'm gonna shut my well, I guess I got all kinds of stuff here going. So we do have an appointment with Mr. Smith. So I'm going to turn it over to, I guess he swapped seats with Gary there. So go ahead, Todd.
We've been doing some work on Lions Field, getting some prices. As everybody knows, we had a light that came down at Lions Field. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. We sent up people to inspect them, and we had to take all the lights down and all the cross arms. They were rotting out, and they needed to be replaced. What I'm asking for you to consider tonight is letting me move some money possibly. If I wait till July, a lot of kids are going to not be able to play softball, and a lot of the men's leagues are not going to be able to play either. There will be no lights if we wait till the July 1st budget. And what we went through with COVID, I think it's very important that these kids are able to get out as soon as possible. So I'd like to tell you about maybe two ideas that I had. We had Craig Norman did a lot of work, and you have a list of what is needed to be replaced with the lights, the utility poles, a new panel, and other things. It's going to equal about $25,000. And we're going to get a rebate of $5,500 from electricity main, which when the whole total is done will be $19,500. To make this happen this year, I have two suggestions. Number one, Lowe has left my department and has moved next door. So
Technically, she's still working two jobs, but he doesn't have a whole lot for her to do. So
right, and she is being paid from a fund from town hall and not from the rec department. So that leaves some extra money in her pay line that if we could use that would be great. The other suggestion is out of the recreation line, let me just make sure I have the right line, which is my program expense. I do have enough money to cover it in that. That'll bring me kind of close. And if a lot of programs start up, I might be a little short. I recommend the first line, that money that we had to pay Laura in. And that comes out of the budget line, which is myself, Laura, and the boat launch attendants. And it is the 5501-105,000 line. And paying it out of there will not affect my salary or the boat launch. And I asked that if we're able to do that.
Just as a little filler here, as of February 8th, there was just under $63,000 left unspent in a $103,000 salary line for those 2+ people. So the funds are there. I don't think it's my place to do that without the clear light of day to selectmen and the public here. And you folks can move money around as you do every year in the last couple of months. And this is something that can allow this work to be done in the ball field ready for this season if you decide you want to approve this.
I believe we've got 3 months, the last 3 months to move that, but we can't move anything till April 1st on that, and that's under the charter.
Correct.
But technically you don't, if the consensus is here to move forward with this, I would bill it to the proper line in his budget, which would obviously be overdrawn, and then you could correct that in the last 90 days, as long as you agree with the work to be done in this fiscal year. You're right, you can't move it now, technically.
It's all in the Parks and Rec budget, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's in the recreation budget, which is separate from the parks, but yes, that's correct.
You're saying that, and I think it's efficiency main, not electricity main, but so efficiency main is willing to reimburse us $5,500. Do we have to put LED?
Dennis, I didn't hear that. Your phone's up.
Okay. You're saying that I believe it's efficiency main.
That's
right?
correct. Yes.
So once we do the job, they'll reimburse us $5,500. But my question is do we have to put up LED lights?
I believe we do. I can find out. Craig looked into it, and he believes that'll be the best way to go. And I'm almost positive that we have to put up the LED lights to get the rebate.
They're not going to reimburse you if you just put up sodium vapor lights.
Exactly.
Remember, we can use the old lights if we want to. They're energy hogs. There are 14 LED lights that are in this estimate we got from Norman. That's a good chunk of that $25,000. If the Board of Selectmen wants to put up the old lights, I guess Craig said that some of them are in the condition they could be used. We can have that discussion, I guess.
Well, I think this is one of them projects that we actually should be putting it out to bid and get 3 bids, apples for apples, not apples and oranges.
That's an excellent point, Dana, and we would do that. We're just talking about the concept now. We're not saying that we would only go ahead with Norman's Electric. This is an estimate. It wasn't a quote from them. It was, let's say, a not to exceed number that maybe we could budget for if we were going to budget for it after July 1st. So I would agree that by our purchasing policy, we do need to go out to bid for this, and we can do that quickly.
Okay. With some type of a scope of work?
Yes.
Comments?
I'm on the fence on it. Because I don't know that, we should have planned this a little bit better ahead. You know, we knew the lights were down last summer, and it took them 3 months to get the lights cleaned up after they fell down. I agree that the lights ought to be back up, but to flip-flop monies like this, I'm on the fence.
The real issue is that if we put it in the budget process and we vote on it in June, it'll be available July 1. And unfortunately, you're going to miss a big chunk of the season at that point.
The other question I've got is, has anybody dug down and done a test bore on them poles to see if they're any good at this point? Those been in a long time.
Yeah, we need one pole. Craig said all the other poles are okay. We need the one pole that the electrical box goes on.
Who tested these poles to see if they was rotted?
I believe that when the company went up there to take the lights down, they checked out the poles and said they were okay to go.
I guess my question would be is, how did they test them? They just, if they could wiggle them a little or what? Because it seems to me they'd have to dig down a ways to do a visual inspection on that.
All right, I can find out. I was not there. Department of Public Works was, they took over taking having somebody take the lights down and the cleanup. I didn't have any part of that.
I believe that they need to be test bored when they do it with probably a 3/8 drill. But they dig down 3 or 4 feet to make sure that those poles are down in there about 6 feet. So, they need to go down at least 4 and find out if they're rotted down in the ground.
Okay. I can speak to Craig and have somebody do that, absolutely.
Okay. Anything else? Is this something that I don't know if we need a vote, but if everybody is reasonably acceptable to it, then Todd should at least move forward with bids and checking out the condition of the poles and those kind of things, I would assume.
Put it on the agenda for 2 weeks out then.
Yeah.
Continue the discussion.
We can do that.
Okay.
Anything else, Todd?
No, thank you very much.
Any questions for Todd before he leaves?
Have none.
Okay.
I have none.
I'm all
Right.
set.
All right, thank you.
On here. I don't see Hetty Smith in the system, so we're going to go by the public comments. Correspondence, we get treasurer's report, the motor vehicle report, and there's an EMS update, which I believe everybody got directly from Matt, or at least through Gary from Matt. And that was kind of predicated by my concern over the lack of collections in this fiscal year, but evidently some of that was not posted or whatever. So
I think that's the young lady you're looking for right there.
Yeah, this Hetty.
okay,
Hey,
Eddie, we kind of jumped ahead here, but under public comments, the floor is yours.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to join to actually watch the meeting, and I didn't have an opportunity to hear if you were adding anything to the agenda that was posted for this evening. So that's all. I was just making sure that there weren't any items added that that the public didn't know about.
The only thing that we've added was at the end of the meeting, we're going into an executive session to discuss HR issues.
Yep, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Selectmen's reports. Dave, anything?
I do not have anything this time.
Dwayne?
I got very little, the problem with getting the signatures at the dump, I don't believe it should be right there at the compactor, that's all.
By the
Dana?
household compactor, Dwayne?
Yes, the household compactor, there was two guys down there Sunday afternoon collecting signatures, and they was jumping right in around the cars and not paying any bit of attention other than they was trying to collect signatures, and they had no mask on, and they were smoking cigarettes while they was trying to collect the signatures, so.
Well, that's glad you told me that, because Josh and I had spoken, and he was instructed to put them over on the exit after people have dropped off.
I went over and spoke to Josh when I got down there, and Josh said that they was over by the gate coming in or going out at one point, and then they worked their way right over to the compactor, and they was actually, when I got there was 6 cars at the compactor, and they was running around in circles and around them cars. I felt it was very dangerous.
Yeah. That should not happen, and we can put a stop to that. And
I mean, it's all right if somebody needs to collect signatures, but not where that traffic is,
not over there.
going at all. Because, you know, and then to be smoking down there and not have a mask, and the front sign says you must have a mask. So, I mean, that's just to cover us, but it was dangerous.
Yep.
Do we have to allow them to do that?
No, I don't think so. We've had a variety of people in the time I've been here where we've asked them to go over on the exit side, and I've never heard a complaint. So I'm glad to know this, but I'm disappointed to know this, because Josh and I talked, oh gosh, I think it was Saturday morning, Saturday or Sunday.
This was Sunday, but, you know, it had been busy, and I mean, the compactor was chock-a-block full of garbage rolling out over. So you knew that it had been busy in the afternoon, but, Josh has got enough to do without worrying about where everybody is and what they're doing too.
Well,
From the
they'll be
general
told,
public.
I guess they'll be told in different terms, this is the only place you can collect is over there by the exit.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, realistically, they ought to had some type of a sign so that people knew what they was doing, because
Yep.
I sat there for 10 minutes or so, and I don't think they got a signature. But they was fairly pushy, but they also was of an age where they couldn't run if the car was coming at them, or, you know, they would never got out of the way of a car moving too.
What were they collecting signatures for? That was my question.
Something to do with the state vote, and I wasn't quite sure. I listened there for a while, but you had to be a full-time resident in order to vote in the state of Maine.
I'm assuming it was the CMP Connect corridor.
I was under the understanding that it could only be Maine residents that could vote at a state election.
Right, that's all they want for signatures for the petition, but the issue, I think David's question was, I'm assuming it was the CMP corridor issue. Do you know if that's correct, Dwayne?
I didn't hear anything about CMP, in what I heard for conversations with the two guys I listened there, so I was sitting in the car and I couldn't really get out, and I didn't want to get out, so.
Okay.
What little conversation I had with them was, please get out of the way, and they informed me that there was a federal government's place of business, the dump was, and I informed them that even the county didn't have anything to do with it. It was state, town of Waterboro that run that compactor, and they should at least get out of the way of the traffic.
Well, then I will tell Josh that before anybody goes down there to collect signatures, that I will have a conversation with them first.
Yeah,
Because that was not our understanding, and these guys are doing that on their own, then they'll either change or we won't have them on the property.
yeah. Well, even if they stood right there at the compactor, you know, right where the handle is of pushing the stuff in, you know, that at least they're out of the way and people can talk to them. You know, I mean, there's room enough. If they got to stand by the compactor, and yes, it's the busiest part of the dump, but not playing traffic.
Agreed.
Okay?
Yeah.
I agree the best position for that is as they exit. Because if they enter, they're going to have to leave at some point. So we don't need them milling all around at the different stations, getting in the way of things. Because I agree with Dwayne that it's a dangerous situation, and I think that we'd be liable if we didn't take some type of corrective action to control the traffic flow down there. And that includes pedestrian traffic. We should confine it to that one space as they exit. And I agree with Dwayne also that there should be some type of signage to let people know what it is that they're slowing down or going to be stopped for.
Yep, I agree. There's room over there for them to have a sign and a place for cars to pull off to the side, at least a little bit, if they want to stop and sign.
Well, over by your building there, that warehouses your Bobcat and whatnot. You know, there's a turnout area there by the storage building, so that cars can get out of the way there. I wouldn't want them right on the gate out there going out through, because you're going to hold traffic up again.
There's plenty of space over there they can
Yeah.
pull off, and they can set up a table if they want, or they can run it out of the car, or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be, but
But they need to use common sense.
Well, seems pretty simple solution. They get authorization from either Josh or Gary, if I prefer Gary, and they're at the exit only. And if it becomes a problem, then we ask them to leave.
Understood.
Gordon, anything?
No, I think that's an excellent idea.
Anything else to report, Gordon?
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Anything else that you need to report?
No,
Okay. Dana, anything from you?
Okay.
Nope. Okay. Gets us to Gary. Gary, Town Administrator's report.
Thank you. I want to update the public and staff I think most staff has learned this, that the shots that we thought we were going to be able to have for town staff, and maybe some boards, have been pulled back by the CDC going on 2 weeks ago now, and they're going to be used for sticking in arms that are at least 70 years old. So staff is being instructed to work with their primary care physician, Maine Health, and get in line at the facility of your choice or their choice to get shots when they can according to age. So there will not, I repeat, there will not be shots designated for any town hall staff. And all firefighters, police, public works people have had their shots already if they want them. Moving on to an RSU board resignation, which is unfortunate. Brenda Dyer was married and moved out of town and does not have plans to move back into town anytime soon. So unfortunately, she has to resign from the RSU 57 school board.
I would question that, Gary. If her mailbox is still in South Waterboro and she's collecting her mail there and still has a place to spend the night, and her car is still registered in the town of Waterboro, is she or is not a resident? So she registers that car and claims her residence and her mail in Biddeford.
Well, she doesn't have a place to sleep here, according to her.
Well, she's still got her mother's residence, and that's where her mail comes, so.
That's news to me.
I would think it would be better off if she kept her mailbox and whatnot, and the car's still registered here, that we leave her on that board, because we ain't got time enough to put somebody else on there.
I know, I didn't want to do this. I talked, excuse me, I talked to Natalie to see if we could just let her serve out the term. And Natalie said, no, the charter is very clear. When you stop living and residing in the town, then that's the situation. So,
Well, the question is she residing in the town if the car is still registered there and the mailbox is still there?
I would say no if you don't sleep here.
That would be my assumption as well. An example of that would be somebody living in, we'll say, Newfield and registering their car in New Hampshire to avoid taxes. My definition of residency is where you lay your head at night.
I tried, Dwayne. I spoke with her twice, and I spoke with Natalie, and we didn't want this to happen.
Yeah.
How much longer is her term?
I think she's got a year and a half left.
She's done in 2022.
2022.
Thank you.
We do have one person who's interested that we've sent an application to today. He's sick at the moment, but he did call me and say he was interested because he'd heard of the potential vacancy. I'm happy to follow up with Brenda again, but I thought I exhausted everything with her, Dwayne. If you think anything differently, then have her call me back.
Yeah, okay.
Moving on to the audit presentation. Ron Smith is scheduled for March 2nd to be here by Zoom, which I assume will be necessary to present our FY 1920 audit. Moving on to the land swap issue. We have a new obstacle in the final closing of this transaction. We've secured the $100,000 loan. The funds have been deposited into our account. But the real estate closing hit an obstacle last week. And the Foglio's attorney understandably does not have a clear title for that smaller of the two parcels in North Waterboro that we were trading as part of this deal. Shirley has looked in the registry and found absolutely nothing. I talked with one of our real estate attorneys today that worked with Natalie. The only thing he could find is a 1940 or 41 reference to a tax lien. And he's going to send that to me hopefully tomorrow. We got into the old books today. We found nothing, but we need that information from the attorney to see if we can determine. And if we can tickle the memory of any of you gentlemen about that piece of property that I can identify on the phone tomorrow if need be. We just don't have a book and page.
Which piece is it?
It's the 8-acre piece that's on the corner. It's not the one that's closest to his pit.
Okay. It's on the Gallon Hill Road or the Carpenter Road?
We giving him quitclaim deeds?
Yeah, we don't even have enough for them to be comfortable with a quitclaim, Dennis. That's a pretty low bar. It's right on the corner of Carpenter where it turns to the southwest to that northern part of that turn, Dwayne.
Okay. This may be the piece that I believe that belongs to the Boy Scouts, but.
It's 8 acres, just for the record.
Was it owned by the Carpenters?
We don't know. We don't have any history, any chain of title at all. For the record, it's map 13, lot 2, and it says now or formerly the town of Waterboro. I guess we've had it for quite some time. So we're working on that. We'll keep you posted. We cannot do the final closing and actually pay Doug the $100,000. I was thinking that money was already deposited in an escrow account to him, but that is not the case. So we have not paid the $100,000 yet, and we will not until the real estate portion here is closed. Moving on to the budget committee. They will have their third meeting this Thursday, since yesterday was a holiday. We moved the meeting to Thursday. They're going to start to vote on individual budget sections. My draft budget to date is a little north of 6% increase, which is considerable. We also have considerable personnel issues going on there. We have 2 new firefighter EMT frontline positions. We've upgraded a part-time person at the transfer station to full-time, or I've proposed that, I should say. In my section of the budget, there's a possible new town planner position that is about $40,000 more than the $30,000 that we have for Lee on the contract basis today. We also added $7,500 for a new 1 day per week person in with Shirley for an administrative assistant to start to do those administrative things that will allow a full CMA assessor to do more higher level tasks and get out in the field more for the 2 days that she's here a week. So that's a good chunk of that 400,000 plus additional spending that's in there. That's what the budget committee will be working through in the next, I assume, 2 to 3 weeks. And that's from me, Mr. Chairman.
Have any indication from RSU 57?
About school board?
Yeah. About their budget?
No, it's always too early this time of the year. I asked Colin about 3% and as a placeholder, and I just don't think I should fill in that hole at all, even with a guess. So let's just compare municipal last year to municipal this year for the time being, like we usually do.
Yeah, that's fine. The other thing is, if you get a chance, ask him for the audit from this year.
Okay.
Okay. Like to see how much money they did not spend.
So you're talking for 1920?
Their audit has to be done, right?
Okay, but that's a year you're talking.
Yeah.
We're talking 2020, not 1920.
Yeah, not 1920, right?
19/20.
Think it's gonna scare you, Dennis?
Well, he projected. He gave me a number. I still have that number. So I'm very interested in what it was.
Well, we also have to look at what new expenses there are reimbursable from the feds too. That's a new substantial figure.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions of Gary? Anything else, Gary?
No, thank you.
All right, let's move on to discuss vote to approve Kala Godard's resignation from the planning board.
So moved.
Second, moved by Dwayne, second by Dave.
Dennis, we need to, just to help Laura here, so she doesn't have to go back over there, let's call out the motions in the second so she can record this, please.
Yeah, he just did.
By Dwayne, seconded by Dave, to accept the resignation. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Dana, you said aye? Okay.
So 5-0. Okay, let me get my agenda back on the screen here. Okay, so we've got a number of candidates lined up. There's 3 or 4 for economic development. I believe we got a couple that are interested in the planning board.
Yes.
How does the board want to go forward with those interviews? Do we want to do it via Zoom? I mean, I think we're certainly, I guess, and I'd like to talk as we finish up here about reopening the meeting room and maybe doing a hybrid if necessary. But I think, we've got probably, 6 candidates, Laura, to interview?
Yes, and possibly later the school board one, but yes, 6.
You got four on that one committee.
We had 2 for planning board and 1, 2,
Four for
5 for,
EDC.
no, 5 for each.
5 for EDC.
Yeah, and
How
2
many
for
do we-
planning board.
How many do we have on that EDC, board now?
There's opportunity for, I think there's only 3 on there, right, Laura?
There is, 2 right now, 2 people, and there is 1, 2, 3, 5 openings.
Okay. And then there's also additionally on that board, we can have 2 non-residents that may have, local business interest. We've had on a couple of folks from both banks before. They're non-voting members, but they sit on that committee. But so you got 2 people on the committee now. We need to fill that out. So a minimum of 3 that we have to add.
Right.
Did that answer your question, Dwayne?
Kind of, but that committee can have as many members as we want to put on there too. It should be an odd member so that when they do go to vote to do something, it's an odd number, you know, to pass any vote, but,
Yeah, it says 7 regular members. That there should be 7 regular members.
7 regular members, and then there's 2 ex officio members.
now, are all these applicants Waterboro residents?
They put Waterboro addresses.
Okay, so
I'm not
Really?
sure.
really,
not-
One of them I think is not, but that's okay.
Okay. I don't know. They put,
well, maybe I was thinking we didn't really need to interview them to fill that committee, but on the other hand, we probably ought to interview them to feel things out here too.
So do we want to schedule them Zoom, or what's your preference? I think until we get I know the school system and the rating has been turned back to green and whatnot in the state. But do we want to open back up the meeting room and do them in person, or I guess we could do them in person as long as that person's in favor of doing that, and we could do them in Zoom if they would prefer to do it in Zoom rather than in person.
As long as we feel that that room is clean and we all wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart, I think we can do it right there if you want to, somebody. I don't have a problem with that. And if anybody wants to Zoom, it doesn't feel that comfortable, we can still run the Zoom and Zoom in, so.
Why don't we start scheduling them, Laura, for and we'll have the discussion here before we close out this meeting of whether or not we want to go back meeting in person
okay,
with selectmen's meetings.
okay.
All right, the other thing, Dave, I think, sent out stuff on David Lowe sent things out on this electronically signing documents in lieu of personally signing them. That's that DocuServe or whatever that he made a run at, and I don't know what your opinions are of that. But I think if we continue to if we continue to meet virtually, then we probably need to sign virtually. But so what are your feelings about that system or a system similar to that?
DocuSign works very well.
I'm not sure everybody signed it though. Did you ever end up signing it, Gordon?
They end up doing what now?
Did you sign that DocuSign?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
DocuSign, as Dennis said, if we're going to continue virtually, that is a legal document once it's signed, so that would be the way to do it. providing, everybody has access to it and can.
I believe you got mine, didn't you, Laura?
I believe so. I think I think everybody signed it except for Gordon. Is that right, Dave? Dave,
That's
you
what I
there?
saw.
I don't know if Dave's still there.
Got a thumbs up there.
That was correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can you see my thumbs up?
We can have Dave send Gordon another one to test. Dave, are you there?
I am.
Okay. Gordon did not sign the DocuSign, right?
Right, but it looks like everybody else did, I believe. And it's not a problem. Gordon knows how to use it. He just didn't read the instructions.
All right.
A very,
Well,
very good system.
I think if we continue to have to meet virtually, I think then we probably should sign virtually, and I think that's probably as good a system as any of them. So let's at least move forward with that thought process anyway.
We do have something to sign tonight. It's an abatement.
All right.
So I mean, we could send it tomorrow, or you can, however you want to do that.
We can send it out. We'll give that a good run, and we'll see what happens with the real document.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to give us a call if you don't get everybody's signature.
I can set it up with reminders so it'll keep bugging you.
Which gets us to the real item that we're
Sorry.
going to sign remotely is the abatement. And this looks like an abatement for map 10, lot 6-2. And then there's a second one, right? That's map 14, 7A. So
Yes.
I will do this any way that you guys would like. There's two abatements. If you want to do them individually, we can do that. If you would prefer to do them both together, then I'll take a motion either way.
Dennis, what was the second map and lot, please?
Map and lot was map 14, lot 7A.
You.
Both of them had to do with correcting acreage. And these would be for fiscal year 19 and 20. Shirley can take care of the current year. So this would fulfill the 3-year deal. So I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to sign the abatement for map 10, lot 6 and 2, and map 14, lot 7A in one motion.
I will second that.
Two people talked at once.
All right, moved by Dave Chivette,
Yep.
seconded by Gordon.
Okay.
He's the one that I heard, so
Okay.
any further discussion? Sensing none, all those in favor? Dana?
Aye.
5-0.
Yeah.
So Laura, why don't you send that out electronically and we will sign it electronically.
Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to do it tonight, that's.
I might do it tonight. We'll see.
So everybody should expect in their email tomorrow a DocuServe to sign.
Do you want to
Right.
sign the minutes also then? Electronically, or do you not want to?
I think the minutes we can forego. We're going to have an approval here, and there's nothing that requires us to sign it.
Right,
So,
okay.
we'll just do the abatements. And I think they were both on the same sheet, were they?
Yes,
So just for future reference, when we're not signing the minutes of these meetings, is there a notation on there? Pandemic or something to that effect?
yes. I'm making notes, on the minutes. And if you notice on the last minutes, I wrote at the bottom, that the January 5th minutes were not signed, because it was a Zoom meeting. And I wrote, Selectmen will vote at their next meeting to just discontinue the signing of minutes for good, or at least until Zoom meetings have ended. Signatures are not required by MMA or our charter.
Perfect. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about old business. Town report, deadline, nominees. I'm not sure that anybody has any suggestions. I know we kind of teed up John Champion, but I would entertain anybody else's name if, and it's not, don't have to do it tonight, but it's something that we need to keep in the front burner here. Gary.
One person suggested Clint again, for your consideration.
Yeah, we did Clint when he was alive, right? So, so that's a possibility.
I think we ought to keep it in town.
Okay. So, like I said, we'll keep it teed up here. And when is Laura, what's the kind of the deadline for getting everything squared away here on the town report?
I really don't know. I'm sorry. This is my first town report. The reports from all the employees was supposed to be last Friday due, but I'm still missing some reports, like from you and Gary and the fire department. So, but I do have a lot of them. I do have a lot that I have received.
Okay, we'll get them squared away, and but we should in the next few weeks here start to finalize
Yes.
this thing. But
Yes.
I don't have a problem making a motion to dedicate it to John Champion tonight, if that will help.
that, then I certainly would entertain that motion.
Second that.
Okay, been moved by Dwayne and seconded by Gordon to dedicate the town report to John Champion. Any discussion? All those, Gary?
We will check with the family. We've had people refuse that before, so you go ahead and take your vote, but we will check with them and get back to you.
Understand. All right, all those in favor? Okay, Dana? All right.
He's got, if you need some help, Gary, if you need some help finding them, I know where both of them live, so.
I can guarantee you I could use that help.
Okay.
All right, let's, Ledgewood subdivision, in your packet was the, homeowners association bylaws. I think all we're really concerned about is does those set of bylaws protect the interests of the town, right? I mean, I don't care what kind of words are in the bylaws other than is it something that protects the interests of the town, right?
Right. Well, right around the last meeting, this came up again, kind of at the 11th hour here when the attorneys are involved, and the attorney working for Bruce had some suggestions, some concerns, I should say, because the original deeds for that subdivision do not contain any language for a homeowners association. And he was bothered by that. In other words, how can you force this upon these folks? The only HOA reference is in a DEP stormwater permit for the subdivision, which is not much. And to not have this HOA in their deeds, I guess, could be a legal issue. And there are people down there in the subdivision who are not in favor of it. So I think we're at a stalemate here. There's no action needed for you folks tonight because we still need to get this ironed out between the developer and all the parties down there, because I think it needs to be unanimous. And I guess you do not go back and add something to someone's deed for an HOA unless they want to do that. And I think they're kind of in an impasse right now.
That is sort of what I've been saying right along about like the core testing of the road. Same thing. How can we go back 15 years and, ahead and make him do things that weren't even in any of the planning board paperwork when he got it?
Yeah, I think, Dana, seems like the majority of the board is okay with the condition of the road. This is a completely new and different issue as of a couple of weeks ago that I didn't really expect. I mean, if these folks want the road plowed by the town and do not want to have to pay for it to be paved and fixed, then we need the right of way. And we've done that simple language in the HOA docs. Natalie's fine with them as they are. But this other issue arose, and I'm not sure if it was because some of the residents down there were objecting to even doing an HOA. I'm guessing that. But we still have some more legal work to do in this. It's not ready yet.
From what I understand around town, that there's quite a few residents over there that don't want it and will not approve to have a HOA.
I don't disagree with that. I don't know how many, Dana, but I think you're correct.
I'm not sure how many either, to be honest with you, but like I said, how can we actually go back, like you said, with the deed? It's not in there nowhere, so how can we make him go make the people have it?
Right.
And it's no fun off the town. If this does not happen, that's fine with us.
My question is it in the subdivision plan that in the notes that was approved by the planning board that says that there shall be a homeowners association, a road association, or whatever the case may be? I don't care if it's in their deed or not. If they don't want to, I mean, this is simple. If they don't want to have a road association set of bylaws, there's no interest in the town taking over that road.
Correct.
So I got to believe that there's something in the subdivision plan that was approved by the planning board that speaks to something.
I believe there is.
Anyway, more to come, I guess, huh?
Yes.
I mean, Natalie ought to be able to tell us that, right?
I think that's the big thing that's lacking, Dennis, just what you just said. It's not clear in one of the plan notes right there that this shall be done. If it was, it probably would have been in the deeds.
Well, there's got to be a record of findings of fact from the planning board that talks to the approval of that subdivision, right?
Yes.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to table this regarding that particular development indefinitely until we get some answers.
You know what? I don't believe you want to table it then, Gordon, because that means that you take it right off the table. You want to postpone it rather than table it. And then, because if you table it, the only way you can table it is to a certain date. If you table it indefinite, that means that it's taken off the table completely. And you can't bring it back up.
Well, I think we ought to have thank you. I wasn't aware of that. I think we ought to have the latitude to bring it back up. So maybe I'll change my motion to postpone indefinitely. rather than table. Because if they don't have any interest in, working with the town, then I agree with Dennis that we don't really have a lot of interest in taking that road over. Why should we incur, the expense that, when there's no reciprocity by the homeowners there.
But the thing is, if it's not in any of the paperwork that the town approved 15 years ago, how can we make him do it now?
I don't think we can, but that would have to be decided by legal.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Dana. We probably, if there's no trace that says that we required something to be done, but there's also no trace that said we would ever approve the road.
Well, I agree on that, but that's what I'm saying. If there's not, it's no different than anybody else coming to us with a road. If it's not in there, how can you really refuse it? And that's a question that I'm asking: is how can we refuse it if the planning board doesn't protect the town by putting that wording in there?
If you don't have all the information right away with all the testing data that we seem to think is fine for this road, and certainly the town is within its rights to not accept it. You folks have that authority.
Okay, I just was kind of curious.
Yeah. For whatever reason, really.
But I think as far as the selectmen go, we ought to be able to look at that subdivision that's been recorded over in Alfred and is in our office and find out what the story was on the road. I don't think we ought to table it or postpone it indefinite till we look at that.
Yeah, you can vote on this motion if you want. I don't think you need it because right now we're in a quandary right here. We need more information for you folks to know whether or not you should do anything either way.
It's currently not going anywhere.
Right.
That's what I was just saying a few minutes ago, Gary. I would assume that Natalie could tell us those answers of what we really need to do, or if that wording was in the deeds or in the plans that the town had him do to get the plan, to be able to get that subdivision.
Natalie's done her work and she's fine with that. This concern was raised by the other attorney on the other side, perhaps because of the people objecting to joining an HOA. That's my assumption. Bruce Lewis is in Florida right now, or I might have more information.
Back and wants to share some information, we'll put him back on the agenda.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else on Lakewood?
Do we need to withdraw Gordon's motion?
Nobody seconded it. So, okay. Other discuss vote to approve the minutes of the January 19th regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Wayne, seconded by Gordon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's 5-0. All right, pending decisions, I guess we'll move on from that. The week's action list. I think we've got that squared away. As far as agenda items, I think just my 2 cents here with the reduction, significant drop in COVID positive rates. I think I would like, and I guess to take everybody's opinion here of, should we at least resume meetings in a hybrid mode? We'll do, whoever doesn't want to come, they can do Zoom in. Whoever wants to be here in person, we can be in the meeting room. So, opinions?
I agree with you, Dennis.
I agree too, Dennis, and if it's slippery out or icy, I don't want to get out, but other than that, I'd just soon get out and get to the town office because I think it goes a lot easier.
Yep. David?
I'm all set with that as well. Let's try it and see what happens.
What?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
You know, on a trial basis, there's still a lot of warnings about not relaxing everything too soon.
Yep.
I guess as long as we have that in the back of our mind, we could, proceed.
If it changes, we always have the alternative to go back to Zoom, so.
Right.
So the next meeting is going to be hybrid?
Yeah, we'll do an in-person meeting, and if anybody is interested in joining via Zoom, then we'll put out a Zoom link and those things, so. We'll go back to the way we were, before the holidays, so. Okay, any agenda items for next time? Don't all speak up at once.
What about the snowplow contractor?
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a little, I think, Gary, you and I talked the other day, we'll bring him in, I guess. We wanna
He
wait
wants to
until,
meet sooner rather than later because Alfred is up too, and I guess he's thinking of, taking one of those two perhaps, I'm not sure. He can push to try and have the extension here if both sides want, the 2-year extension. Or he could let his contract lapse here and bid on both Alfred and Waterboro. It's obviously we would be going back out to bid. So I think the sooner we get him in here to meet with you folks, the better. And I can certainly try for March 2nd if you want.
yeah, let's do that. I think the sooner we know where we all stand, I think the better off we're gonna be.
That might want to go into executive session and pull out some of these dirty laundry that is out there, but.
We can do that.
So you want a next executive session for next meeting?
If Gary can get Mr. Poirier in.
Yeah, can we do a 5 o'clock? Be nice to do that before. This could take some time.
Yep. I'm
David?
okay with that.
Can do 5.
Okay.
All right, so let's schedule that for the 2nd. Anything else? Okay, Laura's gonna send out the abatement for electronic signatures. We'll forego the minutes signatures. And unless anybody has anything else,
I will make a motion to adjourn and to go into executive session. You got the numbers for that executive session.
Correct.
I think that was seconded by Dave already.
Seconded by Dave?
Yeah.
seconded, we'll adjourn this meeting and go into executive session
Don't you
for
have to vote?
M.R.S.A, whatever section it is, for discuss the human resource issues.
4056A.
Okay, was that a 5-0 vote on the closing?
He hasn't called the vote yet.
Oh,
Yes.
We haven't voted yet, Laura.
okay, I'm sorry.
All those in favor? Dana?
Aye.
So we are adjourned.
Give me about 5 minutes, I'll signal you, and I'll knock myself off. Maybe less than 5, actually.
Laura will have to leave.
Yeah.
And the rest of us are all set. So we'll wait on your signal, David.
Good night, Laura. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. I gotta, I gotta go back to the town